Hello, dear students. Welcome, everybody. In this video, I am going to talk about linguistic, introduction to linguistic. What is linguistic and what are the criteria of linguistic and what are the feature of linguistic? What kind of subject matter come under linguistic? I am going to discuss about this. As you know, students, this video is useful for B.Ed First Year major English students who are studying fundamental study of linguistics, fundamental language and linguistics. Students have to learn linguistics there. So now let's start the content. Linguistic. Linguistic is the science of language or the scientific study of language. Generally, linguistic study the language scientifically. So we can say linguistic is the science of language or the scientific study of language. Linguistic is mainly concerned with spoken language. Linguistic focuses on spoken, that is communicative purpose. So it concern with the spoken language. Language is a system of communication. Definitely, language always is a means of communication. Language always supplies the message, information. So language is a system of communication here. It is the phenomenon of vocal and written communication among the human beings, generally in the ordinary usage there. That is the linguistic. Especially linguistic. Linguistic is descriptive, not perspective here. Especially linguistic focuses on scientific study of the language. So it focuses on the descriptive aspect. Its primary goal is to describe the language as they are spoken. What people actually say, not what they should say, is the concern of the linguistic. That is the matter to be considered here. That is the child whom the dog, that is bite. That is the child who the dog, who the god bite. That is the idea we should get from here. That is, it shows the primary goal is that is to describe the language as what they are spoken there, but people actually say not what they should follow, should say is the concern. That is the concern of this linguistic. Linguistic is empirically grounded. It is based on actual language data, including observation of language used by speakers and their intuition about their language. Here, similarly, linguistic is seen as a humanities or arts subject. Links to women include to language history and philosophy, as well as to ancient and modern language subject such as French, etc. That is similarly, this linguistic links to social science include sociology, psychology, anthropology, and archaeology. Also with biology, physiology, physics, and mathematics in the production and perception of speech. That is the idea. Now let's discuss about the subject matter of linguistics. Especially, there are various subject matter of linguistics. That is phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, pragmatics. So now let's get some brief introduction of each subject matter. Phonetics. This phonetics is concerned with the ways speech sounds are produced, their nature, the physics of sound waves, and how they are perceived. That is ba, ka, ma, la, pa. How the sounds are produced. It concerned about this. Then another term is that is phonology. Phonology is concerned with the ways sounds are patterned, how the sounds are patterned there, how the sounds are produced, that is phonetics, and how the sounds are patterned, that is phonology. For example, that is pan, ban, span. Here sounds are patterned very differently. So phonology studies about this. It is concerned with the ways sounds are patterned. Next concept is morphology. Morphology deals with the way words of language are structured, how the words are structured, how the words are made. It concerns about this morphology, how they are made up of smaller meaningful parts. That is a read plus yes means how the words are formed, how the words are structured. It studies, it is concerned with this idea morphology. Another one is syntax. Syntax is concerned with the ways words go together to form a sentence, how the sentence is structured, how the sentences are structured. It studies about syntax concern about this, and how the words are related to one another. The student front at the teacher, how the words connected each other to form a sentence. It especially syntax concern about this. And next one is semantics. Semantics is concerned with the aspect of meaning. Here, semantics deals with the aspect of meaning that are given by the words and grammar. That is a meaning is there. Next one is pragmatics. Pragmatics handles the aspect of meaning of an utterance that comes from its use in particular context. Especially, pragmatics shows contextual use of language. In which context, how the words, how the language are used there. It focuses on the contextual use of language. Semantics shows the meaning aspect of meaning here. One point to be remembered here. So these are the main subject matter to be considered while studying about the linguistic, about phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. Another one is psycholinguistic. Especially psycholinguistic investigates the mental process underlying language processing. It is a study of language from the viewpoint of the psychology. So viewpoints of the it studies the mental state of the that is of the person. It study about the psycholinguistic. Next one is neurolinguistic. Neurolinguistic is concerned with the process and structure in the brain associated with the knowledge and use of language. How the language is studied with the brain. So it is concerned about this matter. It focuses on the brain's language processing activities. That is neurolinguistic. And next one is language acquisition. In especially language acquisition is the field of linguistics that investigates process of attaining comprehension and production of a language. Usually second language acquisition in children. So first language, their initial language, and second language, that is acquiring. Second language is learning language there. So now next one is that is typology. Typology deals with the variation of language by classifying them into types according to some structural feature. The order of the subject, verb, object. That is, it shows the variation of languages by classifying them into different types there according to the structural feature. And next one is universal, and another point to be considered. Universal is a feature or a statement that is true and sure among all the languages. All languages have consonant and vowels there. So that is a universal idea. And historical linguistics studies how languages change over time. How one era language may not be similar in the next era. So it is changeable there. Language never remains static for long. Language always moves on changing there. So that is historical linguistic. And social linguistic, it is concerned with the language in its social context. How the language are used in society, how the language used in social context. That studies, social linguistic studies this with the relations between language and society. Here, social linguistic focuses on the relations between the language and society. And next one is discourse analysis. In discourse analysis, examines stress of language, both spoken and written, larger than a sentence, especially larger than a sentence, paragraph. Okay, so how sentences are connected, how texts are made coherent, the use of words like, well, me, and so on. Especially here, discourse analysis. Here, observing, that is let's say more than a words. Okay, it is more than a sentence and paragraph. Okay, especially paragraph forms. These are how the texts are coherent and how they are. What is the matter of this cohesion and coherence. It studies about this discourse analysis. And next one is evolutionary linguistics. Especially in evolutionary linguistics, it is concerned with the origin of language, with how we came to speak. Means evolutionary shows how the language developed from old time to now present time. It talks about this evolutionary linguistics. Now move on to some fundamental concept. Especially in the fundamental concept under this linguistic, there is a sign. The sign shows the fundamental unit used in the representation and convenience of information. It involves of form and meaning, especially in sign. A sign is anything that creates meaning. It's anything that can be used to represent something meaning. Definitely, when one sign is there, then the sign shows some forms. The sign shows some information, and it creates meaning there. Signs have many forms. They can be sounds, road sign, numbers, paintings, photographs, and words. That is the concept. An example can be an meaning, and that is let's say this symbol shows meaning dollar. Or gesture, that is things can be sound like 10, tree. So there are physical gesture, and there is a semiotics. Semiotics shows the sign language there. Another one is the icon. Icon is a sign that has a form resembling its meaning in some way. The form shows feature of the related concept. An example can be a photograph. That is the icon. Okay. Next one is symbol. There, a symbol is a sign, the form and meaning of which are related purely by the convention. The form has no apparent similarity to the meaning. It is not naturally associated with it. An example, the word apple and the fruit itself. There, that is a symbol, and there is no logic connection between us symbol and what it represents. The connection must be learned about. It usually becomes associated with the concept it represents over time. That is, most words in human language are symbols, numbers are symbols, traffic lights are symbols. So these are the, it can be used in language. So here symbolic and iconic things in language, sign in language. Uh, that is a iconic sign in language, SIGN, that is sign in language. The word tree is a sign being created with a phonetic form and an orthographic form with a meaning. So it is the same for all other languages, but there is no natural connection between the three in any language because it is symbolic. So that is the idea. And on the other hand, some words are iconic, onomatopoeic. Onomatopoeics are suggestive of their meanings. Uh, Sounds that are made by animals are almost the same. The here onomatic words shows ding dong, ting tong. That is onomatic sound. The onomatic words there. So sounds are made by the animals are almost the same in all languages, and they refer to the same animal there. Then another concept is paradigmatic. That is paradigmatic. It is the class of all items can be substituted into the same position in a grammatical sentence or in paradigmatic relation with one another. So here paradigmatic is a term that describes the substitutional relationship that a linguistic unit has with other units. For instance, I hunted a bear. Each of the words can be exchanged with a number of other words without changing the basic syntactic arrangements, that is vertical relation. For example, I write on the blackboard. Here we can change I with another subject. It can be you, we, they, she, etc. We can change the write in another predicate. So here I write on the blackboard. We can change you read in the library. We can go according to the substituted the same position. So that is the concept of paradigmatic. We get to know. And then next one is syntagmatic. So especially from syntagma or syntactic string of words that forms a part of some larger syntactic units. Your syntagmatic is a term that refers to the sequential characteristic of language. To construct words and sentences, a certain order is followed in arranging the individual items. For instance, in the phrase "the boy," which consists of a determiners plus noun, we can put a variety of items between the boy, the, and boy, but we are not permitted to reverse them. That is horizontal. For example, I write on the blackboard. So here we define I as a subject, write as a predicate, on as the preposition etc. Here. So here syntagmatic shows that is sequential characteristic of a language. That is the idea. So I write on the whiteboard there, you read in the library. So here is, it shows the sequential characteristic of language, how it is made there. Certain order is followed there. Especially it shows the certain order. So that is the idea here. We discuss about this. Well, students, in this video we discuss about linguistic and its subject matter, its areas. We discuss many things. I hope you will get the concept in linguistics. If you have any confusion about linguistic and its feature and its classification, you can comment on this video so that I can reply your answer as soon as possible. Now, one more thing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. That always makes me motivate to make such kind of video in the days to come. I hope to meet you in our next video. See you. Take care.